The name Vice may not be immediately familiar to you, but this is the final resting place of a man who was so famous that even 99 years after his death, his stage name still evokes mystery, magic, and sorcery. He was also a Scottish Rite Freemason, a Shriner, and indeed one of the most famous people to have ever lived. Eric Weiss, also known as Houdini. Welcome to the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry channel. I'm Maynard Edwards, 33rd degree. Today I'm at Macpila Cemetery in Queens, New York, at the grave site of arguably the greatest magician to have ever lived, Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini was indeed a Freemason, which a lot of people don't know. Harry Houdini was born Eric Weiss in Budapest in 1874. He was the son of a rabbi and one of 7 children. The family immigrated to the U.S. in 1878 and settled in Appleton, Wisconsin, a town Houdini would proudly claim as his hometown for the rest of his life. His father, Rabbi Weiss, lost his job at the synagogue in Appleton, and the family fell into poverty. They moved to New York City in 1887. As a teenager, Eric was captivated by stage magic and was mentored in the art of illusion and sleight of hand at a local athletic club. Eric Weiss soon reinvented himself as Harry Houdini. The name Houdini was a nod to French illusionist Robert Houdin. Houdini claimed later in life the name Harry was a tribute to magician and Freemason Harry Keller, but it's more likely that the name Harry just echoed his boyhood nickname, Airy, which was short for Eric. By 1891, Harry Houdini was working sideshows and dime museums, billing himself as the king of cards, but by most accounts, he was not a great sleight of hand artist. But he was already tinkering with escape tricks. In 1893, he and his brother Dash played the Chicago World's Fair as the brothers Houdini, and they did okay, but when they returned home to New York, work and money were scarce. Everything changed for Harry Houdini in 1894 when he met the love of his life, Wilhelmina Bess Rayner. After a whirlwind 3-week romance, Harry and Bess were married, and Bess replaced Dash as Harry's on-stage partner. In the late 1890s, one of Houdini's handcuff escape acts drew a promoter's eye, and by 1899, the Houdinis were on major vaudeville stages. They toured Europe in 1900, and Harry became known as the Handcuff King. In March of 1904, Harry Houdini hit London's Hippodrome Theatre, and on the 17th of March, he accepted a challenge from the Daily Mirror newspaper. Escape a set of handcuffs rumored to be unpickable and specifically designed to defeat the great Houdini. After more than 90 minutes on stage, in front of a huge crowd, Harry Houdini freed himself, and the legend was born. For the next 2 decades, Harry Houdini was among the world's highest paid performers, staging ever more elaborate and dangerous stunts and escapes in front of ever-growing crowds. He dabbled in motion pictures, aviation stunts, wrote books on magic, debunked psychic mediums, and helped establish magic clubs across the country. Houdini was also a ferocious self-promoter and made many outlandish claims, one of which was that he could withstand a punch to the stomach from any man. On October 24th, 1926, that promise proved to be fatal. Backstage in Montreal, a fan caught Houdini unprepared and punched the magician in the stomach several times. Though Houdini was in tremendous pain, he took to the stage anyway and didn't realize that the punches had likely ruptured his appendix. Houdini performed through the pain and with a high fever for the next several shows, but after a show in Detroit a few days later, he collapsed. He was taken to a hospital and finally died on Halloween night, 1926. The world's greatest escape artist could not escape death. Houdini was initiated into Freemasonry at St. Cecile's Lodge number 568 in New York City. It's a daylight lodge for performers that still meets inside the Grand Lodge of New York today. He was raised as a Master Mason on August 21st, 1924, at age 50. For many years, it was believed that Houdini didn't join the Scottish Rite or the Shrine until shortly before his death, but a 2019 discovery rewrote that timeline. While cleaning an old office, Noble Zachary Ostro of Mecca Shrine in New York found a forgotten locker full of petitions. In that stash of petitions was Houdini's own hand-signed shrine petition, where he lists his hometown as Appleton, Wisconsin, and his occupation as author, lecturer, and mystifier. The documents also show he joined the Scottish Rite in October of 1924 and became a Shriner in December of 1924, 2 full years before he died. Houdini's interest in Freemasonry, though, went back much further. In a postcard from London dated March 1904, just a day before the Daily Mirror challenge, Harry Houdini wrote to a fellow magician named Arthur Buckle and said, "Regarding being a Mason, I regret to inform you that I am not a Mason, and I hope someday to belong to that order." It took 20 years for Houdini's wish to come true, perhaps delayed by his relentless tour schedule, or perhaps his interest in fraternal organizations was rekindled when he became the leader of the Society of American Magicians in 1917. Harry Houdini's funeral was one of the largest ever held in New York City at the time. More than 2,000 people attended. It was held in Elks Lodge number 1 because in addition to his Masonic membership, Houdini was also an Elk. He was buried with full Masonic honors, and this grave site after he passed was erected by the Society of American Magicians. Again, he was the most illustrious president from 1917 until his death. At Houdini's funeral, the Society of American Magicians performed the first ever broken wand ceremony. Now, this is a ceremony where they take the performer's wand and they actually break it over the open casket, signifying that the wand without the performer has no more power. It's a very symbolic and meaningful ceremony to magicians. A magician, an entertainer, an escape artist, an author, a mystifier, and yes, a Freemason. The greatest, Harry Houdini.